2017, it's about to happen. E3 is about to happen. I know everybody's pretty hype about that. It's E3. I wish I could say that I was the same. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm going to talk about hype later in a video to come and how excited I am about certain things. Hopefully there are things I can see in the future because I'm really looking forward to that. By the way, this is a cat. I don't know what's going on with him, but he won't calm down. But this is something that's been on my mind for quite some time. And I think it just came to a boiling point sometime around midnight. I mean, here it is. It's 12:30. But yeah, a lot of the times when E3 comes around, I don't watch it because it's just going all day, and I just don't have the time. And then when it actually finishes up, I watch all the highlights. You know, when Final Fantasy VII got announced, I was like mind blowing, and everybody's like, "Holy shit!" But I think the thing that really that stuck in my brain a little bit earlier was the fact that nowadays I don't feel like I get hyped about much of anything else other than video games. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I said, I don't watch E3, I don't hype the shit out of it, but I mean, Tekken 7, about a week before it came out, I was in fever pitch. I promised my buddy that I wasn't going to practice it at all so I could beat his ass, uncircumstantially. Of course it did. You know, I was excited as shit about that. And when Nier was coming out, I was really excited about that. And Yakuza, the new Yakuza is going to be around the corner pretty soon too. So that's really exciting, you know, and it's not going to be stupid expensive, so that's also pretty exciting. But as a collective whole, there's so many different things that I was excited about, but I guess I can't say I was truly hyped about, except Tekken 7, I was hyped. But it's weird, because nowadays, I guess maybe we're just spoiled, you know. If I go to see a movie, I know there's going to be a sequel. I don't get to miss anything. I think that's the point. When I saw that there was going to be an Justice League movie, and there was like a series of movies about that, I wasn't all that excited. If anything, I was just kind of skeptical. And I think that's another thing I really want to talk about is the fact that, you know, skepticism's a really big part of it. You know, we go into movies and we're like, this is going to be garbage. Going in, we already know it's going to be trash. And yet, sometimes it doesn't end up that way, but you just feel like it will be. I saw Wonder Woman this last weekend, and I actually really liked it. And I had really low expectations because DC makes bad movies. They haven't made a good movie since like the Batman trilogy. So I was you know, really suspect about that. But at the same time, it was like, how can I be excited about this? I haven't even gotten an opportunity to, you know, say, hey, I actually miss seeing Wonder Woman on screen or Batman or etc. I mean, you had Batman on screen 2 times in the span of 1 year because he cameoed in Suicide Squad. God forgive that fucking movie. But there were a lot of things that, you know, people were like, oh my god, this is happening, and now I'm just not excited about. I know this is more of a video game kind of thing, kind of channel, but something that came to mind earlier was the fact that we're getting a lot of live action adaptations of things, and I can't say that I'm excited about any of them, because at that point, you know, I'm suspicious that it's going to be garbage, because you have a masterpiece presented to you, and it works so well in that medium. And in no other medium could I feel like it could ever work. You know everybody wants to rip into Death Note for being garbage. I do myself, because it's going to be garbage. But I'm willing to give it the opportunity to say, hey, this might actually be pretty decent, even though for some reason all the characters' races have been swapped. I don't get that. And, you know, it's really weird, but it could work. Its potential is there, because the source material is easy to do. The only thing you really need to not fuck up is how Shinigamis look, and you got it. It's on lock. But, you know, I saw like a Full Metal Alchemist live action adaptation. Little known fact, it's my favorite anime of all time. Brotherhood, not the actual one, Full Metal Alchemist, because Brotherhood was actually, good. Fullmetal Alchemist just didn't make sense at the end, and whatever. But that's not the point. But when I saw that they were doing a live action adaptation of that, they were doing, they were doing Death Note, and now I just see that they're going to be doing Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I heard the Rurouni Kenshin movies are pretty good. I haven't seen them myself, but now I'm not excited about them at all, because one, I'm a firm believer in the let it die policy, and I know I sit here hypocritical, I got Tekken 7 right behind me. The game is expected to continue. It's a fighting game. It has a legacy to maintain. And I understand there are large, long-standing game series. For example, you have Street Fighter 2 that's being re-released. Exactly, let it die, but Street Fighter 2 is apparently the definitive Street Fighter game. I'm not a Street Fighter player like that. I play it every once in a while, but I'm not good at it. But it's something that just immediately came to mind. Street Fighter 2, that's being re-released, and and then I think about it, it's like, okay, well, I guess I can be excited about Street Fighter 2 for the Switch. People can be okay with that, but it's not a big deal. But this weird thing where we're just like, we hype something up after it happens. We build up this event, and we say, yes, we are excited about this. This is going to be the thing. We have, I don't know, say in the span of like next year, they go, holy shit, this was by far the best fucking game ever. Nier Automata, Game of the Year, which wouldn't happen because, and believe me, I'll get into that also. But Breath of the Wild's Game of the Year, just saying. But it's one of those things where it's like, Nier Automata would be like the best game ever, and then they pressure the shit out of Yoko Taro. Yoko Taro's not really one to, be all pressured or whatever, but they pressure this man and they say, hey, you're going to make this next Nier game, and you're going to make it in the span of a year, and we're going to make this a continuing series because we can do that. People liked it enough where they're just like, okay, well, just keep making the fucking games. Now I can't be excited about a new Nier because it's manufactured. It feels fake. It feels forced, and the love isn't there, I mean, I played Metal Gear Solid 5 a few years ago, and I remember watching the trailers a million times. Elegia is one of my favorite songs of all time, and that was from like the second trailer. Nuclear was a great song, and Not Your Kind of People and Sins of the Father, all great music for trailers, all great trailers. The trailers were better than the fucking games because they know how to hype something in just the right way to pull at your heartstrings, your emotions, and make you want something more than you actually do. I remember when Mass Effect was announced and everybody said this was going to be the greatest thing of all time. Oh my god, it's a new Mass Effect. We're going to redeem ourselves from multiple colored lasers. And we all know that didn't happen. I mean, the game was, oh god, that was bad. But maybe it's the fact that I'm just constantly disappointed. Every time I get something, if I wait on it for too long, it's bad. And if it comes out too fast, it's also bad. Because I think it's the expectations. It's like a losing battle no matter what. If you have a good, I think Fallout 4 had like the best way of going about it. They didn't announce Fallout 4 like 10 years deep. They just said, hey, this is going to be a thing. We'll drop it in a couple months. And everybody was like, wow, I can actually be hyped about this. I can be excited. My expectations are non-existent because I don't know what to expect. Now, on the other hand, Fallout 4 to me was just meh. I watched a lot of my friends go from like loving it to saying that Fallout 3 was better, and then gradually just stopped playing it altogether. I've never really cared for the Fallout series. It's not my genre of games, but whatever. But every time that I say that I'm excited about something, I realize that like I am for about it's a couple years usually, and then as it gets closer, I become concerned, I become saddened, and then inevitably I become disappointed. Like the hype culture that we live in now, where everything is just exciting all the time, it takes away from the actual, the quality of what you're actually doing. I mean, I've been waiting on Kingdom Hearts 3 for, I don't know, Well, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 12 years ago. So, I mean, that's pretty terrible. They've gone through like 2 console cycles to try to finish this up. And I guess they just haven't done it. And, I'm not one for being able to read all the news in gaming. I'm an adult now. I have a job. But it appears as though they're saying that, if the game comes out next year, it will be incomplete. If it comes out in a couple years, it'll come out in a couple years. But they've been working on the game for probably about 10 years now. I'm starting to wonder if it's actually real. I haven't seen any new gameplay stuff for it for, a couple years either. They announced it at E3 and then they just dropped it. But that's something I am excited about. But at the same time, my expectations are also really low. Because when something is in development hell for that long, it usually doesn't work out. Final Fantasy 15 to me was a lot of fun, but it was disappointing because it didn't meet the expectations of, 10 years development cycle. I wanted it to be good, and then it just wasn't. So maybe that's what it is ultimately, is that you sit there and you just go, okay, well, this is going to come out pretty soon. Or so you think, and then it doesn't. And then what? I couldn't tell you. It just sucks. I played Persona 5. I would have loved to have done like a full-on captured all the footage of that. But the game, it took me 200 hours to beat because I kept falling asleep. It was a great game, but I stayed up at all hours of the night trying to finish it. It didn't happen fast enough, and my computer can't take that kind of space. But that game, that had a really big hype cycle. Actually did okay. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just like niche things that do well. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. How is it that hype can be good? Because to me it hasn't seemed to be good in a hot minute. And it's a real disappointment because I want it to be. I want to be able to say I'm hyped about things like all the time. You watch Easy Allies, you watch Huber, that dude is a hype machine. He is hyped about anything. He can make something up on the spot and literally be hyped about that. I want to be that guy, but you can't be that guy. Because I have expectations that haven't been met in a very long time. As I said before, you go in, you expect something, you usually don't get it. If you expect nothing, that's usually when you get something that changes your perception of what it could be. But, yeah, to wrap the whole thing up, that's pretty much it. I don't know what's going on. My cat's freaking out. He's sprinting through the freaking apartment. This freaking ball of fluff. But I know it's been a couple months probably since I've actually made something. And I apologize for that. It's been pretty hectic. I got a full-time job now. And for first little bit I was working 60 hours a week, and that was pretty terrible. But now things are back to normal and I can start actually doing this again. I just got to find the time in my day. So that's pretty much it. But I'll be coming back to you again, probably with a podcast really soon. I'm getting up with my buddies so we can actually sit down and discuss things that we actually are excited about the possibilities for. There it is. Thanks for tuning in to Ham Hub for my really roughly edited video, because I'm probably not going to edit this. We'll see you guys later.